Okay, so this is how I overlay video in a video. So it's pretty much like a picture in a picture. This is the finished product that I did. So this is the sixth session at Road Atlanta last Friday. But I'm going to start from scratch. So you can do this pretty much in any video editing platform. Final Cut Pro just allows you to overlay as many videos as you want. iMovie can do it. You can only overlay one video over another, so that's plenty. So I'm going to start off by right clicking and starting a new project. So I'm just going to call it demo. So it's a blank slate. So you want to overlay, you want to put down the base video that you want to show. So for example, let's do session 5, okay, or session 6. So I've put it here, and that was shot on a Hero GoPro 7 Black at 2K, but I'm just going to reduce the resolution to 1080. So this is my base video. So typically this is the forward-facing camera. Now I'm going to overlay, because I've already imported that video on there. So it was the last session of the day. So that one was this three, because it does three videos. Because it's so long, GoPro splits it up into three videos. So I have the first video, the second video, and then the third. So pretty much you can select all three and then just overlay it. Now, because it's on top, it's going to show the full screen on top. So I'm going to go to this little tool here. It's a transform tool. And this is where I can change the size of it. So from here, I can change the size, and then I can move it around, position it in different, like if I wanted to make it, like if it was a rear facing camera, I can make it where it was like my rear view mirror, so to speak. But it's up to you on how you want to position it. But before we move on, there's like a lot of dead space up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop and trim. So trimming this takes out this dead space. And this is a little bit tricky, but as you can see, I'm just kind of making it in, I'm just cropping out or trimming the unnecessary part. And then I just say done. And then from here, I'll transform, because transform will allow me to move it and scale it however I want. Now, the toughest part of this process is getting the video in sync with each other. So I'm going to keep this part pretty big so I can see what's happening out the windows as well as the front windshield and the side mirrors. So for example, if I scroll to the beginning, and actually I'm going to move this off to the side just a little bit. So I'm going to use a reference point of, let's just say, this guy right here. So clearly the interior video started recording way before, because it's out of sync, right? Like you can tell we're coming out of the paddock. So all I need to do is to kind of find out when or how much to crop. So I'm just going to make this, I'm just going to shorten the distance, or shorten the start time. All right, so right about there, I can tell that I'm in line. And if you're having trouble seeing it, you can make it a little bit bigger. So I am in line waiting. So I'm just going to move this to the starting point. So I'm already moving, but I'm already out the gate. So I have to crop it or reduce that time a little bit more. So as you can see, I've started it a little bit later. I'm just going to play it until the overlay or the picture-in-picture video starts moving. So it's quite some time. That's the problem. I try to do it with a remote where both cameras would start at the same time, but then I started having issues. All right, so here I've already taken off at the upper part. This is what's going to take the longest to do this, but it's well worth it. All right, so there I see the guy. Now I'm moving and I'm like, give him that hand signal. So I'm going to use that as a reference point. So I'm going to shorten this and then come up here. And now I'm going to see by playing how in sync I am. So I've already started moving. So it's actually pretty close, but you can also use where he is in relation to the video. So looks like the windowed video, I haven't passed him yet. It's pretty close actually. Okay, so you can kind of see where I pass him at. So it's pretty close. Another way to tell is if you pass another marker that you can tell, but let's focus on this guy. So I wave at him, I'm about to pass him. Okay, so it looks like I need to wait a little bit more. So now this is where you're gonna really zoom in, because the closer you are to the timeline, the more precise you can get. So all I'm gonna do is shift this like maybe a couple seconds and then extend it. So now let's see where we are with this. So we're starting to move. I give him the hand gesture. All right, so now I did it too much. So in the small window, he's already past me and I haven't even passed him yet. So that's easy fix. I'm just gonna shorten it and then come back to this part. So let's see where we're at. Still the same thing, too much. Let's see where we are here. All right, nope, too much. So it's just trial and error. So he's already to my left. So that means I need to, I've gone too much. So I need to extend the length of the video of the top window. All right, let's see where we're at here. All right, so he's kind of close. You can kind of tell him there. And technically, yep, a little bit more. So just a little bit more. A little bit more. Probably had it closer earlier. All right, so right there, I would say just a smidge more, because we want to be accurate. And this is really the only time that you have to do this. All right, so I would say that's pretty close. Just a little bit more, about a hair more. All right. So that looks about right. He's still in both frames, right around the same position of the car. So that's about right. So I had to shorten this much time. And all I got to do is just put in the others in here, chop off this extended part because I don't need it. And now we have the complete video. So in this one, so we only adjusted this one here, and you can tell that they're two different positions. But once you get the right size, so for me it would be like this. I don't want to cover the data, but I would like it as big as possible. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to come up to edit, copy, and then I'm going to select the other two videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste attributes. Pasting the attributes is going to do the position, the scale, the crop. That way you don't have to like play around and it's nice and seamless. So yeah, that's how I overlaid it, and then I exported it into one video. That's pretty much how I overlaid it. The syncing is going to be the biggest challenge, but it's pretty simple. Um, I'm going to do another video to talk about how I did the overlay. All right, enjoy.